water and fire and air and akasha, and they are tuned to those primordial energies. And the angels, like our guardians, they're attuned to how these energies have evolved and shaped in a very special way on this planet. And they come in surprise and being a little bit amazed.
In Überraschung. Sie sind überrascht? Ja, sie kommen überrascht. Und sie sind ein bisschen erstaunt.
That there's a group of human beings who are physical,
Eine Gruppe von Menschen,
but they radiate light.
aber Licht ausstrahlen.
They radiate light. And you know you radiate light, right?
Und ihr wisst doch, dass ihr Licht
Just nod your head like this. Very good, class. Very.
Oh, ihr seid Schüler.
Yes, ma'am.
Ich habe eine Frage.
Stellen Sie?
Ja, das ist nett. Bei uns in der Stadt ist sehr viel eingebrochen worden.
In our city there were many burglars.
Und bei uns ist auch versucht worden, aber nichts passiert. Nur die Tür
In
war
our
kaputt.
house they also tried. They only damaged the door, not more.
Und seit einiger Zeit interessiere ich mich sehr für Elfen und Zwerge. Ich lese alles an Büchern, was ich kriegen kann.
And since a while I'm very interested in elves and dwarfs, and I read all the books I can get.
Jetzt bitte ich immer meinen Hausengel, mein Haus, weiß ich nicht, Elfe, Kobold, wie auch immer, auf unser Haus aufzupassen, wenn wir weggehen. Und meine Frage ist, darf ich das überhaupt? Macht ihr das gerne oder findet ihr das zum Heulen?
I'm always asking our house guide
Ich brauche keine Sicherungsschlüssel.
to guard our house when I'm going away. And the question is, am I allowed to do that?
Sie should that.
Ja, ich weiß es doch nicht. Also ich meine, ich tue es in der Hoffnung, es ist ihm recht.
But I don't know if he agrees.
If you like it.
If he likes it.
Why not?
Why not?
No, I mean it's something that we begin to be more enlivened.
Wir beginnen mehr beliebt zu werden.
And these enlivening energies move out to the world we create.
Diese belebten Energien bewegen sich hinaus in die Welt, so wie wir sie erschaffen.
The nature people will only work with or be attracted to humans who do not hate or have anger.
Die Naturwesen werden nur zu denen kommen oder sich von denen angezogen fühlen, die keinen Ärger haben, die keinen Zorn haben.
And their ability to work with the primordial elements
Und ihre Fähigkeit, mit diesen Grundelementen zu arbeiten,
they can fundamentally help protect
erlaubt
us, our home, our lives.
die uns, unser Haus und unsere Familie beschützen können.
Yeah. You want to know something?
To know, yes.
Behind your left shoulder,
Hinter deiner linken Schulter.
links, okay, yeah,
Ja, da-
sitting on that countertop, you have a being who's this tall. They're sitting cross-legged, they're this tall.
Da sitzt im Schneidersitz ein Wesen im Bild, das so hoch ist.
He is wearing a felt. It looks like a, you know, when you make felt, you know, a felted hat that comes up and curves up at the side.
Trägt einen Filzhut,
Ja.
der an den
Has a
Seiten
feather
hoch steht.
Off the left side going up.
Eine Feder, die hoch steht.
Wears an amazingly big belt buckle.
Und eine überraschend große Gürtelflasche.
And he's a nature being that you came in with.
Und das ist ein Naturwesen, der mit dir angekommen ist.
Schön.
Ah! That is the only answer. Yeah. Yeah. And so,
Danke. Toll.
yeah. And again, we're not developing to see the nature folk. We're not developing to see the angels. We are developing to be the full embodiment of the divine consciousness. And along the way, because we're humans, we like to share. We like to share the things we've learned, and in that way, we become enriched. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Wir müssen nicht das Rad wieder. Wir müssen nicht das Rad neu erfinden.
Was heißt das?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
What does that mean?
We don't have to invent the wheel again. We don't have to invent the wheel again.
Oh yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Jetzt, was soll er jetzt sagen?
Meaning, we can learn from the experience of other people.
Wir können aus der Erfahrung anderer Leute lernen.
We can believe in things that only our heart knows,
Wir können an Dinge glauben, die nur unser Herz kennt.
because a friend believes from their heart, and we begin to trust.
Freunde trauen sich gegenseitig auf der Herzensebene, Vertrauen haben auf der Herzensebene.
And then automatically, these closed, curtained windows
Diese verschlossenen
of individual perception
Fenster individueller Wahrnehmung
open up from this unbounded place in here.
von der inneren Unbegrenztheit her geöffnet.
We have to open these eyes as much as these are open.
Wir müssen diese Augen so weit öffnen wie die physischen Augen.
At the same time, while we keep these feet on the ground.
Und gleichzeitig unsere Füße auf dem Boden halten.
Yeah.
A wonderful fairy tale, a French writer wrote about it. I try to come from French to English. It's a conversation between a little prince and a fox. And the fox says, I tell you my secret. The only way you can see the reality is to see with the heart. Everything else is hidden underneath. You only can see the reality with your heart. It's a wonderful, simple.
Enchanté avec la petite prince.
Le petit prince. La véritable, c'est mon secret. Ah, c'est
Non.
le petit prince. Très bien.
C'est bien.
On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, le petit prince. This is in such a simple kind of words. It's written for not. He didn't never ever write only for children. It's only for adults, but in a very simple kind of language, and it really opened the heart. It's the same what you told us.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So I guess we got some new angels coming along.
Oh yes, indeed. Everyone adds a certain quality of light,
Also ich habe gesagt, jetzt sind vielleicht ein paar neue
Ja,
Engel
genau.
gekommen.
a presence.
Jede Qualität bringt eine neue Lichtqualität.
I remember a little story. I was in Ireland, and there are always little signs, and they say leprechauns crossing.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they all the Irish people leprechauns wear these little
What she has on her
yeah, what
shoulder.
she has on her shoulder, and everywhere they. And I asked some Irish people, do you believe in leprechauns? And one said, well, if I believed in them, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, really?
Because, there's so many people who make laugh
I know.
about that.
I know.
So,
I know. It's something that you could write a story so beautiful by one walk in the garden to describe the beings, and it's not that the beings, but as they perform their prescribed activities, you feel the presence of that greater self. You feel the presence of that greater life and love so much more in an uncomplicated way than what we ordinarily filter and understand through this. And it refines us. The experience refines us. There's not one moment we are not transcending. There's not one moment we're not exchanging or expanding in qualities of attention, sankalp, and love. There's not a moment. And if we are aware of that, something becomes more electric. Something becomes more vital. Something becomes more joyful. And when we're not feeling that way, we need to reset ourselves. If we're riding a bicycle and we go off the road, you don't call your friend, what do I do? I'm off the road. You go back on the road. And you reset. Breathing. Resetting through the body. Finding that place that is the seat of balance, the seat of power, the seat of joy. And it's really, you get accustomed to automatic reset. Automatic reset. Yeah. Yes.
Can I say something?
I would hope so.
Excuse me. Ich sag's nochmal in Deutsch. Ich wollte was. I wanted to go on with darkness in the world we have now, about warlike situations where humanity abuses weapons or is attempted to abuse weapons. And what it does to our resetting ourselves in being in harmony. Yeah. So, like my personal attention is distracted by radio and television. When I hear that the US president is very proud of spending a lot of money on new weapons, and so are the other countries, but at the same time he shakes hands and says it would be so wonderful if all this nuclear weapon didn't exist anymore. So those things are happening at the same time. Yeah, I'm just saying, as an example, how to come back to my own peace. So my human consciousness reaches out to this information as what is going on in the world. I want to interact. I want to be a good citizen. I want to reach out my hand to bring everything in order. And I cannot receive those double information at the same time. So this, for me, relates to what our friend said about the darkness we're in now. Because our innocent heart takes everything serious, like a child who thinks it's going to be Christmas. Yeah? So at the same time, we see that the reality that is reflected on us is not the reality that we really perceive. So this is what I wanted to share about feeling good with ourselves. Okay?
I love walking barefoot, but it brings a great responsibility. Glass, people who don't pick up after their dogs, holes, all these sort of things. I have to be alert. What you just said is a reminding call, a trumpet that's saying, remain alert, be prepared. It doesn't say, be worried, be afraid, oh my goodness, here it is. Be alert. And when we're out walking, before we go for the walk, we might check a satellite. Is it going to rain? But if you live on the islands, it rains every day somewhere, so always take a raincoat, okay? So be prepared. So essentially, what you're sensitively and clearly describing is the need of kavacha, or protection. And it's like naturally in the human body, when we're in a good balance, we have a good immune system. There's an immune system not only on the physical body, but the idea that is proper to consider that is on the emotional body and mental body, higher mental body. And in this, we're having resilience and balance. Each vibrational level, we have the ability of a protective or filtering organism. And so, before you open your internet to read the BuzzFeed or whatever you're reading, be prepared. Don't let your emotions be open and vulnerable. You want to be knowledgeable, but do it with energetic dispassion. Energetic dispassion. And in that, you're going to be protected for when this is going to be coming. And this is our requirement today. When the angels come to work here, and they can take on human form. They look like Philip down the road, or Beatrice up the hill. You know, they're there. And yet, it's a little bit more mysterious. But when they come, around them is what you can clearly say is perfect light. When we see light, it's good. Laser light, ooh, there's something more powerful. The light that the angels command around them when they come into our dimensional world is perfectly brilliant. Not angry, not heavy, absolutely capable of any vibration coming and having it be immediately neutralized. Real-time, anti-virus, energetic human thing. It neutralizes this. So we have to be prepared. We have to be ready for that. Not only that, then, that's why I'm saying 1 day, 1 hour, at least 1 moment at least, please hold a picture of your loved ones. Hold a picture of your city. Hold a picture of your country. Hold a picture of the world. And allow this light that already is there, but the turbulence of humanity is making it so uncomfortable. But let that light rise. Let it begin to flow. A single human mind connecting here to do that has so much ability or power of good that's going to go out, and suddenly people are not as angry. I believe this is making a big jump of understanding. So forgive me. But it's like when we heard about the Maharshi effect or the square root effect. That happens naturally when we're more connected. We are walking and living and radiating that. The power of one. But remember what the Bible said. When your mind is single, your body is filled with light. This is the one we're talking about. The power of one. I am that, thou art that. And it starts with I am. And then we have to go, maybe I'm important, maybe someone will like me, maybe I can do this. We grow in stages. And finally we realize, I am that. And you know what? That I am here meets the I am over there and greets that I am, and we are both stronger because we shared that I am. Nothing was taken. Everything was shared, and it was magnified beyond our comprehension. So, as you said, my friend, 7.2 billion people on the planet. And inside every one of those is the light of pure consciousness. When you hold that map, when you hold that preciously, please connect with that. When then, it's just talking to yourself. Finally, talking to yourself is a good idea here. Otherwise, it's a little crazy. No. And so in this, what we want to do, we connect there, and then suddenly there are these rays, these rashmis, that light up from everywhere. And they become stronger than any political leader you want to name. Whatever power they have is small compared to this. Do that. Remember it when you breathe. Say a prayer.
Wenn ihr atmet, spricht ein Gebet.
I have a very simple experience about this because so many people are concerned about the bad influences and they read newspapers, they look internet, they look TV, and they are overshadowed by all of this. And I tell, and yes, the world is bad. I tell them a very simple thing compared to what you told us. Switch off everything. Switch off. Simply switch off. And then itself, this light comes by itself. Sometimes I'm also on the internet and I think, my God, it's absolutely rubbish. Switch off. This moment after switching off is just beautiful.
That is such a bonne idée. It's something that, at that moment, your subtle body is aware of an influence that no longer is getting in. We're not allowing it. Intention, sankalpa. We must call it. We must command it. Free will. Free will. And when you're walking down the street asking for that, see that person you know or don't know, and also spread it to them. Go to that light in them that is also in you. And when you do this, they light you up. It happens, but turning it off. It's such a dramatic, clear example that we are capable of experiencing the subtle energy. That's all. It's beautiful. And then we can choose how to selectively not react to it. We don't need to react to it. Oh my God, it's so bad. They're going, we don't need to react. We remember this, we connect there. And these are not philosophical words. These are not sweet words. These are practical ways that our strength will not be diminished. We'll be whole. We will not become fractured and fragmented. And then the immune system, as I described, becomes a little bit more like a screen. Then energy comes in. We feel the burden. Our steps become heavier. And we're going, what's happening? Why? Don't ever ask why. Go, what now do I do to reset? To return to balance, to the, what do you call it, factory authorized settings? We return to the divine authorized settings, which is flowing perfection through change. Oh my gosh, perfection through change. Who ever thought of such a novelty? Such a novelty.
Neuerung, wie gesagt, Veränderung durch Entwicklung durch Veränderung.
And we came to a little value of timelessness. I said we are 3.5 hours sitting here, and I don't feel anything about time.
That's good. I wanted to mention that, because for a moment, feel your breath. Feel the blood moving through the body, muscles, organs. What is the quality of thought? Thought is there, but it has no density. It's more refined. It's just not as thick. And in that, your point, beautiful, timelessness. It's waiting to come dance. Dance with timelessness. Put on the red shoes, honey, and just go for it, you know? That's what we say back then. Get on the red shoes and... Or in Texas, you put on the cowboy boots and the hat, and you go for a line dance. But this has been precious. Thank you all for everything that you contributed. And one more thing, again, just one last promise, last thing. These beings of nature that have joined us, I wish I could have time to describe what they look like. They're non-human.
Can you describe? Die sehen nicht menschlich aus.
There's been a being over here who's a male energy. He's one of the lords of the forest.
Ist der Weibliche, einer der Weiblichen.
And when you watch him,
Wenn man ihn
at any one moment, he feels the embodiment of every tree in his area.
aller Bäume in seinem Bereich fühlt.
He is feeling every gram of dirt, every water, every pulse of life that comes from the sun. It creates a collective nourishment and release that then he and his high order of
Und seine hohe
consciousness,
Bewusstsein
he then radiates out to the world.
in die Welt.
Humanity, not just the creatures of the forest, but he then is able to distribute that. He sends us that which is going to be most nourishing.
Das, was für uns
He stands as tall as the ceiling,
reicht bis zur Decke.
but if you just for a moment close your eyes, you'll see that he stands about 30 meters tall.
Aber wenn ihr für einen Moment eure Augen schließt, dann seht ihr, dass er 30
He
Meter
came to this form to be fitting in here, and
hat sich so klein gemacht.
at one moment you can see him in tree form, and you see him in a divine form that suspect is sitting in a council of heaven.
Die in einem Grad im Himmel sitzt.
I say those words because it just takes us into a different aspect. There's a radiance about him that comes from his heart to his head that has a compassion beyond any compassion you ever could feel in your life.
Wie man sich nur vorstellen kann.
He loves all equally,
Liebt alle gleichermaßen.
even though we as humans don't have a very good track record
Menschliche Wesen
with maintaining forests
so gut
and pure water.
stehen damit, die Wälder und das Wasser rein zu erhalten.
Yeah, that's just fun.
Das war
But
So, excuse me, I have a question. Because, so he's responsible for all the plants and he's
not just
feeding-
this property.
No, yeah, okay, this is okay. But there's these things growing, grass, Northern call it different plants on the way we are walking.
Mhm.
So I see this and I take it out.
Und wenn ich das sehe, nicht,
And then, of course, whenever we take it out, we feel something, life is gone. When we eat, it's some kind of destruction. But the way here has to be somehow clean,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
So he is not disturbed.
No, not in a bit. But I would recommend, whether you're pulling a blade of grass, pruning a leaf on a tree, cutting a limb on the tree, whatever. Before you do that, welcome them. Say hello. I'm here. And thank them for that which they bring. And then remind them that being a human being, there's a certain order that we need to feel we're in a domesticated environment or our natural environment. And before you pull, you'll notice something. You'll notice that the life energy in that plant or the grass or the plant or the tree, you'll notice that life energy withdraws and goes to the adjacent grass and goes to the adjacent tree limb. But it's best not to be shocked. We don't like being shocked. Do your best not to shock them. But saying thank you, but no, we are requiring this. And I feel the same way. I was talking to Viola. I'm just going, if I could wear a dark clothing at night, I would come out and pull all these at night. And everybody wakes up and going, but I was afraid that would not be a proper way to behave.
Can I just tell you a story? Because I was working in the garden.
One
there was
moment. wenn ich da nachts dann die ganzen Gräser, so schnell
Okay.
die ganzen Gräser rausziehe, dann gefällt denen das wahrscheinlich auch nicht. Also darum muss ich einfach mit denen kommunizieren vorher, damit sie keinen Schock bekommen und mich einfach bedanken für das, was sie mir geboten haben. Und dann geht die Energie, die zieht sich zurück in den Boden und geht in die Nachbargewächse. Sei es Baum oder Pflanze oder Busch oder was auch immer. Also die geht nicht verloren.
Well, I had an experience with a plant. I was cutting it, and I excused myself. I said,
Cutting a tree?
Cutting a bush.
A bush, okay.
A bush or a flower, I don't remember, it was some time ago. And I excused myself. I said, I'm so sorry, but I have to cut you because my landlord wanted the garden be okay, to be okay. And I got an answer by the plant, and the plant said, well, don't be afraid, it's okay. It's like hair cutting.
Very good.
And I was relieved.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think
For two things. First of all, your natural compassion, but your willingness to listen.
yeah.
You were willing to listen.
It doesn't happen, unfortunately, not very often to me, but sometimes it works.
And it just depends upon how much energy we are moving through our nerves and our mind.
Yeah.
And if this is very high, we're not going to feel the subtle qualities.
Okay.
In a partner, a friend, a child, nature. And so again, this is the reset. We have to make a promise that we're keeping some of the channel continuously open only to that. Only to that. And then we're at all times able to respond and feel the connectivity and the unity of it all. You know, I don't want to use big words. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to work. Perfect. Thank you. So I think then we could use our brother and gentleman's words that we've had timelessness, we've been time travelers. We've proven the special relativity of time dilation of Einstein. We should report this to the Royal Academy of Sciences. Good. Well, when we have, meine Wunschlist, having a wish list would be that it'd be nice to be in a group like this on a regular basis, to have this. And so again, for those of you who do practice TM or practice your own connection with nature, that come together, find people similarly, let it be enriched, let it be magnified. This is what we're here for. We're not supposed to keep the good things only to ourselves. We're supposed to share it. And then we could playfully say, be as kind to yourself as you are to others.
There's a saying. We have that saying in German as well.
Love your neighbors like yourself.
Okay. How do we forget that? What? You're looking in the mirror at least once a day, flossing the teeth and fixing the skin and all these other things. I mean, I raised 3 sisters and 3 daughters. There's a ritual. There's a ritual, no matter what. So during that ritual, who is the observer? What is being seen? What is being touched? Who is touching? It's a way of verifying a direct experience that we are something more than just that outer action. I don't know. It's fun. Okay. So, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think in the name of everyone, we would like to thank you very much, dear Terry, first of all, that you came here and didn't cancel the meeting here, your visit here. And secondly, we'd like to thank you for this beautiful lecture this afternoon and explanation and fulfilling all the desirous questions
We
of everyone
all
here.
did that for everyone. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And if I had a wish to my list too, I'd wish to come back and meet you all again. I mean, that's natural in the heart.
Yeah.
It's natural in the heart.
Es hat ihm so viel Freude mit uns allen gemacht, dass
There's many things that
gerne
are to be
wiederkommen
shared
möchte, euch alle hier wieder zu treffen.
from each of us.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what
Eine
a party.
Bereicherung von beiden Seiten.
Good. So travel safely if you travel, and when you travel.
Ihr reist, dann fahrt vorsichtig.
I'm trying to transcendence now.
Oh yes, and that's me. So that's easy transcending. You know, don't go too fast. I mean,